At what's the name of this business here?
It's a Silverado warehouse of Rainbow, California.
Silverado warehouse, and where is that?
Rainbow, California, 4 miles south of Temecula, and exactly 1 hour north of downtown San Diego.
And what is it that you? Well, first of all, what are you on here? Looks like you're on some hay wagon. Is that right?
This is a turn of the century, 100-year-old European hay wagon. That it was actually used to feed the livestock in the fields and was pulled by a horse and taken out to handle the farm duties and chores.
Well, great. Why don't you come down here and give me a little tour of the place?
This is the grand entrance and our signature wooden bridge. And to the left here, we have Cabin Style by Silverado. Each of our shops are themed to make it understandable because our store is so large. And this basically is a cabin-themed shop where you might have a wonderful mountain retreat if you want to decorate rooms or the property. And these are items that we do for that type of use. This is the beginning of the architectural salvage part of our business, which is a very, very big and important and growing part of what we do. Here we buy salvaged building materials from the East Coast, sometimes Europe, a lot of things from Northern California and other places. Beautiful early 1900s doors. A decorative brace that was used for porches, overhangs, housing, roof lines. But when you take two corbels together, this is a good example of the large ones here. Shelving and interesting component wood parts. They become amazing shelf units and decorative accents for a wall to add an architectural element to your home. We also take old corbels and split them and re-engineer them, and we use them as decorative corners and finishes of tables, cabinets, and furniture projects that we build. Old screen doors. These were bought in Northern California. They have beautiful balusters that have been ripped and sewn and attached to this. Old decorative mesh screen protectors, early 1900s. Door handles and back plates. Here we have old window frames salvaged from a home in New York.
Now I'm told that you have an old Western town. Is that right?
We do.
Okay, well let's the beginning of the old Western town I've been hearing about.
This is designed by Silverado, which is the front entrance of the Western town. Ice cream chairs, rustic and Adirondack furniture that they made from old willow branches, bent and turned by hand, by a gentleman in Arizona. And what they are, they're all handmade metal rearing horses.
Wow. So how much would that horse cost if I wanted that horse?
This horse is $1,250. A hay thrashing machine from Idaho, and it was actually used as a combine unit. The hay was done, and it was actually shot up to lofts and conveyors through the smokestack. This machine's from the early 1900s. It still has its original build.
So this is a hay thresher. Looks like you've turned it into some garden accessories. Is that a bull?
Yeah, this is. Be careful! Don't get too close.
I won't.
Dangerous.
I won't.
I think he's okay. He's eating, so that makes him a little calm.
Is that a steer? What is that? Around 5.5 feet?
Steer. This actually may have been Paul Bunyan's favorite friend, Babe.
Wow.
But it's 2 years ago, 2 blocks from our store, the wonderful firefighters we have stopped the northern San Diego fires.
I remember that fire.
2 blocks from our doorstop. These 2 trees were burned 2 blocks from our store. Had the fire crossed the highway, we would have lost everything. We salvaged these 2 trees, spent 6 months creating the most beautiful and unique design of a fountain, and we call this rebirth. And we think that 1942 Ford pickup truck.
Uh-oh, looks like there was a big accident here. What happened here?
Well, I was working late one night.
Yeah.
This was one of my helpers, Pedro. And he was tired and I was tired, and he always loved this truck. And I'm afraid to admit that I ran him over.
Well, it looks like Pedro and the truck won't be separated anytime
Pedro's
soon.
last wish was to stay close to his truck.
So here we are. This is the design center.
The Silverado Idea Barn.
The Silverado Idea Barn. And then at the is that what I'm looking at here?
They're salvage vintage tiles that we use for decorative work. We also have artists who paint on them, and they become interesting pieces of art for someone's home.
I see. I see you've got more here. Now, is this terracotta?
Yes, it is. Yeah, we have terracotta and different earth tones, 70s type tiles.
I see.
Oranges, the golds, and olives. And back here, we're particularly proud of this. This is a 100-year-old barnwood that we salvaged from Montana. It was an old barn that was white on one side, natural brown on the other, and we make some of the most beautiful projects out of this. It's full dimensional 1-inch lumber, and we re-engineer this into a lot of the interesting design things that I'm going to show you. And this is our pride and joy. As our company evolves, our vision of the company is that we are going to be a design company that fabricates to customers' orders really interesting and unique rustic design pieces on a custom order basis. We can take any sketch or design that we'll work up with you, find the materials right here on the property, and our team of very talented general contractors and framers and carpenters re-engineer the items.
Is this the consultation room, or?
This is the consultation room. It's this is a old cable spool from how they transported wiring. We basically create our first rough creative drawings by hand using the protractor, using the Papermate profile.
And so what are we looking at here?
I'm doing a wall decorative for a restaurant. They're basically
going to take... move a little way, that the light is really bright.
The wall decorative. They're going to have a wall done with old western railing and wainscoting across the bottom. And then we're actually going to take and build a very interesting bar with a wagon wheel in the center.
So how long does it take?
And a mirror behind that, and it's going to be a beautiful, we're going to do the whole western bar site. After we've had an initial contact with the client, take a look at the space, get their ideas. Then I do a first generation creative drawing, which is what this is. And then from there we see what we like, higher, lower, brown, white, different shapes, different sizes, different configurations. And then if it's a project that requires permitting and licensing, we go to an architect we use named Ian Staten, and he basically prepares engineered drawings for licensed architect that's been doing it for 40 years. He actually takes my drawings and makes sure that we meet all existing codes and regulations, and that everything structurally is put together in the way that both the client will be happy with, as will the city governance and
once again, where are you located?
We are in Rainbow, California. We're 4 miles south of Temecula and exactly 1 hour north of downtown San Diego on Highway 15.
And you have a website?
We do. Our website address is www.silveradowarehouse.com, and our phone number is 760-723-8483.